onto Victory Circle.
All right. Welcome back to Riding Every Day. I am Kevin, race host for Spinistry, and we're going to do the Tell, Show, Do introduction to today's video. We're going to tell you what we're doing, what we hope to accomplish, where we're going.
In 3¼ miles, turn left.
Then we're going to show you what it looks like. And then we'll give you the opportunity to go out and do it on your own if it's a good fit for you, or maybe it gives you some ideas for stuff that might be a good fit for you. And whoo, boy howdy, it's windy today. Man, I hope this microphone setup's going to work. We'll see what happens. Just doing a quick warm-up, but let's give an outline of what today's ride is. Basically, this is mapped out to be pretty close to 15 miles. Our goal is to keep these continuous videos, these full videos like this, between 60 and 90 minutes. Hour 15, hour 20 is probably about ideal. The idea being that folks can use this as maybe a little bit of training assistance while they're on the trainer or something like that. It helps us to shoot continuous video and minimize the editing, because really get into chopping this stuff up, that can be a lot of time, which we may do some of that down the road, but that's not the focus right now. The focus is to get folks riding their bikes every day. Give them some ideas, give them some encouragement. So this is a Monday ride. That's the idea. This is a way to get some mixed surface, a little bit of gravel, some safe miles where it's not gravelly, and something that somebody in a, if you live in a metro area with not a lot of gravel, you can do something like this. Again, if you're in North Fort Worth, Denton, Argyle area, sure, Grapevine, you can come out and do this ride. Please do. But we recognize that if you're in Chicago or Detroit or something like that, it may not be convenient for you to come to Texas Motor Speedway. So these are meant to be, for me, close to zone 2 rides. Target heart rate at the moment, we'll be shooting for 130 beats per minute. And with this headwind, I am ramping up a little bit quicker than I usually do. But that's okay. At some point, this headwind will be a tailwind. That'll be more fun, right? Headwinds or Texas hills. Yes, I am going to jabber in your ears the whole way. Another part of this video, we're testing out, hopefully, see how it goes when we're done, testing out some new tech to put overlays on the ride, show you speed, distance, where we're at on the planned route, etc. And that's something that we're definitely going to have to play with. That in and of itself is it kind of doubles our editing time. I wasn't planning for that. I thought this solution was going to be easier, and it was. It's not difficult. I can make it work fairly simply, but it's just it is time intensive. So and computer resource intensive to do it the way I would prefer to. So definitely leave your comments. Let me know which parts of this you like, you don't like, what we could do better. We're adjusting, we're finding the format, we're tweaking things here and there. It's going to take time, but the reality is, if you're looking for a ride-along video for your training, this will work for that. I don't expect, at least in the full-length version of this one, that we're going to be changing camera angles. That's where the editing gets very, very, very time and resource intensive. I was hoping, I'm using a 360 camera for this, which if you've seen any of my previous videos, we can, if I'm pointing over here, we can go over there. Oh, you can't see that because I'm not rotating the camera. But using these overlays, we're gonna try it this time around at least, probably for the foreseeable future, where we're just doing a straight ahead view, traditional GoPro type view, and that'll get the overlays. And if you're doing a ride along on the trainer, I mean, you'll be able to see where you're going and things like that. So this is a multi-surface route. What we're on right now is the Victory Circle Loop, the outer perimeter of Texas Motor Speedway property. This is right at a 5-mile loop. And we're going to get about halfway through it, and we're going to hang a left and catch a side road off to the left, just north of Texas Motor Speedway proper. That's going to take us up towards Justin, Texas, and that will have a good bit of gravel on it. There is some heavy duty. You've probably seen all the construction we're riding through up here. There's going to be more construction on this dirt road, so I don't know how it's going to affect that road long term. But you know, it's here for now, or hopefully it still is, and we'll check on it today. If you watch my earlier, depending on the scheduling of this, what's probably my most recent video to this one, that one also took place here at Texas Motor Speedway. These are two completely different riding days, though, and kind of coincidental. It just shows, I mean, Texas Motor Speedway is very, very convenient to where I live. So for your riding everyday rides, find those convenient spots, and you can do multiple things off of them. You don't have to just do the same route every time. You can mix it up and take it from there. Find variety. The whole point is to help people find ways to ride every day and stay engaged. That's super, super important, to get trained up and stay trained up. Well, definitely, once we get out of the headwind, it's a lot easier to pedal this thing. Heart rate came back down to 1, and I kind of want it around here at 110 right now. Get towards proper warm-up. So, we are riding. We've got a wireless mic. Basically on the handlebar next to the Wahoo. Also have my phone just to the left of the wireless mic. So the wireless mic should pick me up. It should pick up Wahoo's alerts and notifications. But I also have the Ride with GPS. So there's my Varia telling us we have a car coming up behind us at a fairly good clip. That's the Wahoo talking to us. And there you go. I am a fan of the Garmin Varia. I know there's some other no-name brands out there, or maybe some actual decent brand names. I'm not speaking ill of them. I just don't have any experience with them. I've had this Varia for several years, and I'm very, very happy with it. It gives tremendous peace of mind out on the roads. I highly recommend them. But you do you. No, there's no affiliate link or anything like that. Go where you want to go to buy one if you want one. Go to your local bike shop. That would be my recommendation. That's where I got mine. So we have the Wahoo running. So you'll hear those alerts and notifications. There's another car coming up behind us, according to Varia. This one's a little slower. And we're back in the headwind. You'll also, we also have Ride with GPS going on the phone with the route plugged in and the audio cues, the audible turn by turn, pretty much like a car GPS. I mean, this is kind of like my ideal setup. This is what I recommend for folks that come out to our events. Use your primary navigation computer, Garmin, Wahoo, whatever else you might be using. I mean, track your statistics, keep an eye on your power and heart rate, whatever you need to on that.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
If it's an official event of ours with Ministry Arrows, fantastic. But if you have the Ride with GPS audio cues loaded, you've got that as a backup. Car coming up behind me. Leakage. All right, so that's Wahoo telling us we're turning left momentarily. We should have had a Ride with GPS notification on that as well. Did I not hit start on that? I may not have. We'll fix that here in a bit. All right, we're going left. I know I loaded the route. There it is.
Turn left onto Harmonson Road.
All right, that truck's behind us.
In 2 3/4
We'll let him
miles,
by.
turn right.
Another vehicle back. We'll let them by. So those are wreckers. There's an auto auction up here, or a junk facility, or I think it's an auction, or maybe just an auction holding yard or something. I don't know. But we'll go up here. And this is, I mean, all this industrial stuff is new here, and they're building it deeper in. All right, so where are we at? Okay, so I've changed my Wahoo around. So I have heart rate on every page, have my speed on every page, miles to Q 2.5. I like that. But this, I'm on the map page, which I usually don't need on Wahoo, but I wanted to put it up this time just so I'm more acquainted with it, discussing it with other people. And it doesn't tell me how long into the ride you are. So we'll go to our normal stats page. We are 4 miles in. I'll ride this page for a while, see how it does with this new configuration. It's going to tell us left turn. It may not. This used to just be a straight through road here. Alright, we get up here a little ways past this this warehouse or whatever it is, and we'll be on our gravel pitch. But I like to do these, I guess what the cool kids call multi-surface rides. I've always done this type of stuff where I mix and match and just ride whatever, you know, connect the dots in the most enjoyable way possible. Sometimes do a little exploring. We also kind of refer to these as rambles. So you'll do some pavement, you'll do some gravel, possibly some single track or paved trail in the mix, depending on what's available and handy. So we're on gravel. Heart rate's a touch high. I want to be at 130. I'm rolling 136 at the moment. Make it a little easier. There's a couple reasons for keeping this heart rate. A, I'm in my initial 6-week training block of riding every day, which I want to be zone 2. And 130 is kind of my current not top end of zone 2, but current upper middle zone 2. Oh man, the washboard is back here. This road does get washboardy. I have ridden it several times in the past few weeks, and the washboard had gotten a little better. And maybe we're just going that much slower into the headwind right now. This washboard definitely varies by speed. Basically, the faster you go, the less washboardy the washboard is. Sometimes you can't get fast enough to beat the frequency of the washboard, though. Oh my gracious, this is ridiculous. That's okay. As I always say, better than being in a cubicle at the moment. I'll take it. I'm not bitching. So yeah, we're kind of fighting this headwind a little bit. So it's keeping the heart rate a little bit higher than ideal, but not terrible. I definitely don't want to get it up over 140 because, you know, as you can hear now, I'm up in this 135 range. And I'm not gasping, but to talk to y'all, I do have to catch my breath a touch here and there. So when I'm down in 130 and below, I'm able to be more conversational on here. So generally speaking, when we're doing these ride-along videos, I think that's what I'm going to call these. These are ride-alongs. That's the intent. Ride along with me for an hour to an hour and a half. And see some stuff maybe you don't normally see, get some ideas maybe you may not have had before for your own rides. And maybe here and there I can share an occasional knowledge nugget of some sort. I'm not pretending I know everything, but I've been around the block a few times. Alright, there's my drink minder according to Wahoo. 20 minutes in, my first drink, I'm going to take them up on it. Trying something new here. Wife and I were surfing YouTube over the weekend, and a video came up for a homemade electrolyte drink called, I think, Haymaker's Punch, something like that. I'm trying it. So it's basically, I'm probably going to get the ratios wrong here, but it's 8 cups of water, a 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar, a 1/3 cup of maple syrup or molasses. We didn't have molasses, so we did the maple syrup. A teaspoon of ground ginger, and a splash of lemon juice. So supposedly a homemade electrolyte drink. I mean, the vinegar is going to do something along those lines. And just giving it a try. We've definitely been in the heat of summer. Not as wicked of a summer as we usually get in Texas. Oh my God. Holy hell. That washboard's ridiculous. I don't have the fork locks. I think before, when I've been riding this, I had the fork locked. Which can get pogo-y if you do hit some rough stuff. Ooh, there's some sand. Yeah, this has changed up since the last time up. Good grief. Oh, maybe that's why it's changed up. Here we go. Slow down, dude. Slow down, fuckhead. Sandy as hell. Holy moly. Man, this is nuts. This will be great after the next rain though, so don't take it as a negative, but man, I'm on 2.4s. And it's not washing out, but I am feeling the loose down there. There we go, now we're thumbing up some. And we get to the hard pack and it's all washboardy again. This is fun. Actually, it is fun. It's a good way to ride a bike. On the way back, I'm going to try it with the fork lock, see what that's like comparatively. Yeah, so here's hard pack. This is what it's normally like. I've never been on that road where it was that soft, and I've spent a lot of time on that road. It just has to be just from the drive. That's weird. I can't imagine them dumping sand or fine aggregate down. That doesn't make sense.
In a 1/4 mile, turn right.
All right, so yeah, I was figuring our 15 miles would be close to an hour today, but this headwind's definitely slowing us down. I'll give you fair warning. It is possible we'll come up short where the video just cuts out after an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 30, somewhere in that range. If we're out that long and if the video cuts out, that just means we ran out of battery. Uh-oh. Wonder how long the camera's been like that. Sorry. And that's gonna get screwy on the video because crap. Hopefully we don't have to redo this one. I bet it was. Oh, I bet I know what's
Turn
going on.
right
That's
onto
what's
Justin
going on.
Cemetery Road.
Learn every day. Holy shit. Learn something new every day. Saying we're off course, but I know we're not. There we go. We're back.
Turn right onto Justin Cemetery Road.
Interesting. All right, so we're going to ramp our speed up a touch. Get caught up, maybe, because the battery in the camera is good for about an hour and 25-ish minutes, roughly. And I thought a 15-mile ride would have us definitely safely under an hour and 15 today. But that headwind's slowing us down. But when it's a tailwind, it speeds us up. Right? Right. It's tailwind now for sure. And we're on smooth pavement.
Turn right to stay on Justin Cemetery Road.
Right turn. Left turn is dead end. That's why we don't go there.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
Left turn is dead end and private road. So we pick up a little bit of casual gravel back here. But going back, if that camera positioning went off for a ways, sideways, when I'm doing the editing, I have to put the directional lock on. It's a process to put the overlay. So basically, well, it's complicated. I'll think about it.
Turn left.
Maybe I will play with changing perspective and then doing the overlay.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
For a ride along that could work. See, I'm thinking out loud to y'all. So here's what I'm up against. So my main editor for the 360 camera, where I can take out segments and splice them together and things like that, it doesn't do the overlays. But in that editor, I can change the camera perspective from the raw 360 video. But it doesn't do the overlay. And I can't do the overlay after the fact, because then the GPS data won't load correctly. So what it forces me to do, if I want the map on the screen that shows the full route, we're in the headwind again. If I want the map on the screen that shows the full route and all of our actual mileage, as opposed to pieces of the route and just the mileage for specific edited sections, what I have to do is I have to compile a continuous video of the whole ride with the entire GPS overlay. And then, hey buddy! and then that can be exported and further manipulated for editing, and take pieces in and out and turn it into a shorter video if needed.
Turn left to stay on Justin Cemetery Road.
But it doesn't allow me to change the video perspective at that point. I'm kind of locked into that video perspective. Oh, that is a headwind. Oh my gracious.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
So we're 31 minutes in and 7.5 miles. So we're still tracking for our average, but we're going to have a bunch of headwind coming back down that dirt road. This is a good workout. So that's kind of the nuts and the bolts of what I'm up against with the video editing. So you guys tell me in the comments, does just when the camera doesn't rotate on me accidentally, I'm guessing the washboard did that. Does the fixed view with all of the telemetry data, is that, and the audio, man, it's going to be interesting to see how this headwind comes out on the audio.
Turn left onto Harmonson Road.
Holy moly. It's a good day to be on an e-bike. Clear right, clear left. Or would it be more interesting to show just different video perspectives along the way? Trust me, I'm perfectly happy not including myself in these videos. But I also understand that a static point of view, camera point of view, might get mundane. So we did a 40-mile ride on Saturday, and I was able to record the whole thing and record the GPS data. But that's where so the way that one works, it was a 3.5-hour ride, I think. And so I was just hoping to just extract the best bits with the telemetry overlay, and hey, here's where we were at this part of the route, and have the full. But you can't do that. You can't do the full map and take bits and pieces. You can't take bits and pieces and put them together first and then have the full map. So you have to export the full video to get the full map and then edit from there. And accurate mileage too, where it shows like you're 4 miles in or whatever. And the reality is, for a 3.5-hour video, I mean, I could set it up with the fixed lens, the fixed point of view, and the overlay, and then export that video to be cut down to something shorter, or have sections sped up or whatever. But to export that 3.5-hour video to begin, that might take 3 days, and that's with a fairly high-powered computer. It was going to take it was going to take more than 24 hours, I know that. And ain't nobody got time for that. At least I don't. Alright, at least so far, we'll see as we get further in. At least so far, the locked fork is working better on this section. I don't think the rebound was tuned ideally for a washboard. which is kind of funny because when I do have it locked out and I hit a pothole or a rougher section or whatever and it's locked out, and the fork engages, you know, it's a forced engagement, then the rebound's crazy off on that as well. Oh yeah, this is much better. This is much better. All right, so lock the fork out on washboards is my recommendation. Oh my gracious, that's sandy. Almost feel like I'm rolling a flat tire, but I know I'm not because we were on that pavement. All right, maintaining heart rate. That's the key. So, I think I mentioned earlier, creeping up on the end of July here, and I'm basically on a initial six week training block geared towards riding every day. It's not a mandate to ride every day. The point is you try to ride every day possible. You don't schedule days off because life is going to make those happen regardless. So roughly August 13th, August 14th will be the end of that first 6 week block. And what is today? I don't know. The last Monday in July, whatever that is. 29th? 28th? Somewhere around there. 27th was Saturday. Today's the 29th of July. And yesterday, the 28th, was my first day of the block without a ride, I do believe. Now, I didn't plan the day off, and I'm not feeling guilty about it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Kitty, 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 kitty. Where'd you go, little kitty? What you looking at? And I don't think, no, I was not overtrained. I'm doing this base training, this zone 2 training. But bad allergies over the weekend, the Saharan dust shit wasn't agreeing with me. I took the day off yesterday. But it's like, all right, we're definitely going to get back on the horse first thing Monday morning, so here we are. So the focus of this first 6 weeks block is just to try to get I still got my training time in for the week. I got just shy of 10 hours total, and I'm shooting for 9 to 12 hours each week, ideally 10 to 12 hours, but anything over 9 hours and I'm on track for this first 6 week block. And the second 6 weeks, I'm not sure what the priority. Well, I know what the priority is going to be. Comments below are appreciated for people that know what they're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, keep your comments to yourself. There's our second drink miner, our 40-minute drink miner. So we're going to do our apple cider vinegar concoction, our haymaker's punch. So like I said, my focus for the first 6 week block is just to establish my call it 10-hour-a-week base at zone 2. Get that nice and get that foundation nicely established. Alright, now we're off the gravel. And yeah, definitely the locked out fork was the better option. And my second 6 weeks focus, but this is not sure, I'm not sure how I want to accomplish that, at least from the riding perspective, is going to be focused on maintaining and possibly expanding that base to some extent. I don't know whether it's time, intensity, or what. But definitely keep the riding going at least that level, but focus on weight loss while I'm doing that. So it's going to be very heavily diet based, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna still ride my 10-ish hours a week, most likely at the 130 heart rate. I may take it up a touch, we'll see. Probably what I'll try is the first three weeks maintain 130 and adjust my diet, and then second 3 weeks maybe try to take it up to 135 with that and maintain that same adjusted diet, assuming the adjusted diet's accomplishing something. Oh, headwinds suck. For reference, I'm in the drops up to 140 on the heart rate.
Mile, turn left.
Man, car back. Multiple cars back. Another car back. That was multiple cars back, but not in the configuration I expected. Alright, so now we're going around here. Left turn. So like I was saying, this Victory Circle paved loop that we're about to get back on,
Turn left onto Victory Circle.
car right. It's almost dead on 5 miles on the outer perimeter of Texas Motor Speedway. So even though what we're doing today is a 15-miler, if you want to turn it into a 20-miler, it's really simple. You just do this loop for another 5 miles.
In 1.5 miles, turn right.
Etc., etc. Alright, so we are 46 minutes in and 11.1 miles. So what we're going to do the full Victory Circle loop. And then there's another perimeter road that's on the immediate outside of Texas Motor Speedway that we'll do a lap on as well. I can't remember what the exact mileage of that one is. I want to say it's 2 point something. I don't know. I don't ride that one very regularly. But throwing that in the mix worked, like I said, 15 miles, a little bit over an hour. That's a good riding everyday ride. If you want more mileage, you just tack onto it with more circles of either Victory Circle or whatever this other perimeter road is, or throw in more out and backs on the dirt section with the fork locked out would be my recommendation if you have a suspension fork. So yeah, first 6 weeks of training is just focused on establishing a decent base, cardio wise, start getting some leg strength back. Second 6 weeks will be maintain those aerobic levels and trying to fine-tune the diet at that point. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not ignoring diet right now, but it's just not the focus. I'm trying to eat better, but I'm also, I don't want to put myself in a position where, and who knows, maybe that was part of the mix yesterday, being so tired. Maybe there was a little bit of a caloric or nutrition deficiency in the mix. Doubtful. I think I'm just tired. I do think it was an allergies thing as much as anything. But I want to make it super clear. This is super important. Have a plan, have a guideline, have a map you want to follow. But don't put so much value on it that if you go off route, if you stray off route here or there. Now, hopefully I'm not mixing metaphors too much. No, we're not talking about the actual route. We're talking about the training plan. Don't get hung up on it too much if you miss a day or whatever. That is the end of the world. I mean, I know people who, and I'm not knocking it. Don't take it that way. But, you know, they have their goals in mind. I want to do so many consecutive days, or I want to keep my consecutive days on the bike streak going, or I want to do this many miles this year, this month, whatever. There's nothing wrong with having those goals out there as targets. Something you're shooting for, but don't let it be soul crushing if you don't make it for whatever reason. Stuff happens, life happens. You miss a day? That's fine, that's part of it. It's good. That's why we call it riding every day. You try to ride every day, and sometimes it's not going to happen. Stuff that just life doesn't allow for whatever reasons, and that's fine. don't let it knock you down where, oh no, I'm off my plan. I don't know. Is it even worth getting back on it? No, the plan is just to try to ride every day. And some days you're going to bust out a hell of a ride. And some days you're just going to coast around the neighborhood in zone 1 for 45 minutes. And that's fine. And there'll be some days you start out like, I'm just going to do one of those coast around the neighborhood days. And 5 minutes into it, it's like, you know what? I feel pretty good. And you never know. You may knock out a personal best in the mix. It happens. Okay, up here at this next intersection, going left takes us back to the car. Going right takes us on our secondary loop. And yeah, this headwind's got my heart rate higher than I want it today, but it's okay. I guess making up for yesterday, I don't know. Spending more time around 140 than I want to, but
then turn left.
Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's telling me it's time to take it up a notch. Left turn.
Turn left onto Lone Star Circle.
So if you've watched my other videos here at Texas, I think I have 2 that we do some stuff through here. This will all be new to you. I know I haven't shot any video with this in the mix. And this is definitely an even lower traffic circle than the other one, but it's much shorter. And I can't, let's see, so what's our distance? 12.7, so maybe we were at 12.5 when we made that turn. We'll guesstimate what the mileage is when we come back out by the condos. So we're going to fade left here. No trucks allowed. I like that. I'm not a big fan of sharing the road with trucks when I'm on my bike. No, I understand they have a right to the road. I'm not saying that. I'd rather not be on the road at the same time as a bunch of trucks. Preferable. And we're maintaining an average of 14.3, better than I would have expected. It's been a while since I've been on the roads of this part of Texas Motor Speedway. So there could be changes here that I'm not familiar with at the moment. We'll see what we come across. Yeah, do not expect this to be a shaded ride. We have some momentary shade spots on this interior loop though. So that ride we did Saturday, so it's July 27th, and I don't think it ever got above 90 degrees. No wind. You just don't get that in Texas at the end of July. That was a good ride. We had I think it was a 30, a 45. Supposedly we're off route somehow or another, according to Ride with GPS anyway. We had a 30, a 45, and a 60-mile route. I did a truncated version of the 45. I was riding with another gentleman on an e-bike that didn't have the battery longevity that I did, so we kind of cut it down to a 40 miler, and he still ran out of battery with about less than 2 miles to go. So we're back on course now. So along those lines, in the comments, you'll find the Ride with GPS route for sure. And unless something goes sideways in this last section, last couple miles here, mile and a half or so, it'll be just the same file I'm using here. I'll probably put the Strava on there as well. So links will be in the comments section. And whenever we do these ride-along routes, the routes will always be in the comments section. Either Ride with GPS or Strava or both. Windsock's lying. There's more wind than that. Ooh, hard right. Nope, not hard right. There it is, mellow right. I was looking at too much stuff. I was looking at pedestrians walkway. That's kind of, that corner through there has changed up a little. We're not going to run out of battery, so that's good. When I say camera battery, we're definitely not going to run out of e-bike battery. If you didn't see it, the last video I did from Texas Motor Speedway, it's probably the most recent video to this one, depending on when this gets uploaded. If anything else gets thrown into the mix, was me doing a battery test on that victory circle, seeing how far I could get in turbo mode, the highest setting. So check that one out if you're curious about that sort of thing. At the moment, and we did a good bit of the lowest setting today, eco mode, but when we started hitting the headwind on the dirt road section, I bumped it up to the next one, tour. So we're 14.5 miles in and 81% of battery life left. So doing comparable. Take another drink. I think I will. So comparable assistance. I mean, yeah, I think 65 to 75 miles on this bike is highly realistic. We'll find out soon. And that's part of the training block. That's part of the base, is to get to where I can. I mean, could I go out and attempt a 65, 75 mile ride on this right now? Definitely. But I would prefer what I say, we were at 12.7, and now we're at 14.8. So maybe 2.25 miles, maybe, on that shorter route. And we're basically done here. If you didn't watch the previous video, I'll show you the parking. Maybe you can see the Bucky sign across the road. That's 114 over there. You go across, there's Chick-fil-A and Bucky's and Whataburger and all that. Over here on the left is the little gravel parking lot. That's what I've used for the past couple rides. Everywhere else around TMS has gates or no parking signs or cables across driveways or whatever. Left turn. There is route complete. There is no signage here. There's no gates here. I believe this is meant to be a fisherman's parking spot for the pond there. And we are done for the day. Final wrap up. Good ride. I feel good. Dead on 15 miles. Hey, that's what we were shooting for. An hour and 2 minutes and change. That's also basically what I was shooting for. And we've got 80% of our battery left on the e-bike. And thanks for joining us. Again, comments below are definitely appreciated so we can tweak the format to best suit your needs. Thanks for joining us.